This for all you fools that don't know what's up yet.
West the deal, man. This is the Hub, Next Level Podcast on BG Knockout,
Redmann DaLoc,
and we sitting right here with big bro Dresta, the motherfucking gangster.
Dresta. What's
Gangsta Dresta, man. What's
Hub
the
and
deal?
Dub podcast,
Hub and
man.
Dub, man.
You know how long, you know how appreciative I am for this podcast, bro.
Right, you got to understand how appreciative we are to even have it ourselves, because the Hub and the Dub means, it stands for a lot when it comes to us. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Wise,
Most
baby.
definitely.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
A lot of history, a lot of growth and learning, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
The whole nine. We can talk about the Hub and Dub forever.
Exactly.
Endless. We know many. We know many.
And then this is what we need from the homies from the Hub and the Dub. We need for y'all to subscribe to our channel, man, because we doing this for y'all. Like, we representing all of us. It ain't just about me and Redman. It's about all of us, bro. So make sure y'all tap in. And so welcome, big bro, to the Hub and Dub, Next Level Podcast, man. So what I wanted to kind of do was get into the making of Real Compton City G's with eazye, man. Okay. So, I told the story from the way I remember it.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
we going back 30 years.
Exactly.
So now I want to get into your memory of how we met eazye, you know what I'm saying? The whole beginning, like you coming home from YA, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you predicted it from what people told me. I think Big D, rest in peace, told me that you told him certain things before you came home, and you manifested it, bro, and that shit came true. You feel me?
And actually, I just wrote some literature recently that I haven't published it yet, but I'm going to publish it through my publishing company. It's Poppin' Publishing, and it's about the strength of being able to will things and to know things into existence. Not will it. This was something that occurred from, sitting in that bunk in Youth Authority, and every night we used to watch our Arsenio Hall show, right? What I would do after we watch our Arsenio Hall show, before I, lights out, I got to go to work in the morning,
right?
I fantasized. I would sit up there and I would think about the performances I just watched on our Arsenio Hall show,
right?
And then I would visualize myself
being in there
doing it with the lights, and I did it so much, bro, to where it became second nature.
Okay,
where it went from just a thought and a want to where you can actually vividly see yourself
That's
in those
that
elements,
manifestation, yeah.
You know what I mean? In vivid color, like not just in just thought. You know what I mean?
Right.
It got that heavy. So, and it wasn't just Arsenio Hall. It was Soul Train.
Yeah.
It was whatever.
And that's and while you said that, not to cut you off, but that's the cold thing about it, because when we did Arsenio Hall, we signed the papers on the Soul Train thing next door.
Right next door.
That's crazy,
right
bro.
next door. Being in music, and that was my escaping. In those days, writing poetry, writing rap. So anything music related, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Right. Mama's sending me cassette tapes. And
Absolutely.
I'm requesting certain songs and certain music. You know what I mean? And then it's a lot of dudes who didn't get packages, who didn't get cassette tapes and all that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were the ones who were kind of getting the music and dictating what's good and what's bad and passing it on to others.
Right. But we talking about California Youth Authority for those who don't know.
Ventura School, YTS.
He was in TS. He was in Norwalk.
I went to Norwalk. Norwalk is
Norwalk
as well. 90 days.
I helped to facilitate the first media production program in California Youth Authority.
Oh yeah.
I helped to write the grant and it was a grant that was proposed, and we started a media production program in Ventura. The first person in TYA to shoot a music video and direct his own music video and did all that. So I was already forward thinking about what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since a kid, because this was something I started in the projects with Young Bleak and people like that, who was Mellow J nephew. You know what I mean? So I come from the essence of the real, knowing where rap really started for us on the West Coast. With Mellow J and a little dude named, even before, way before that. I'm talking about like Snoop. It was a nigga named Snoop from East Coast. Niggas had cassette tapes. You know what I mean?
I remember Snoop from East Coast. He's from 7-6, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mellow J. You had Toddy T, Mixed Master Spade, Muhammad Tiger D. It was a lot of dudes that was forefront in the hip hop surgeons in California. I was one of the first dudes to bring the Mixed Master Spade tapes to the projects from Compton and turn my people in my generation on what Mixed Master Spade was doing for the G's in the community.
Ready to rock,
Show shot,
body rock.
Yeah.
I used to be in the garage with Spade while he doing his thing. That's why I learned to pick up.
Yeah, the first time I ever rapped on tape and heard my voice afterwards, the recording was in Mixed Master Spade garage. Well, it was his mama's house in our neighborhood.
On Northwood.
Yep.
And that's Scotty. I remember my big dog Scotty. Scotty was part of that whole little crew.
Yeah. Shout out to them, Scotty.
You don't know. I don't know if you remember Wig Out, Big Doc. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hell
all
yeah.
them type of hip hop heads. But for me, when I seen y'all both, just to see y'all on the Compton City, to see on that screen, to see
Right.
somebody that I knew and grew up with, and talking to shit that I knew was the shit that they was talking like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Man, made my vision and made a lot of individuals have hope. You know,
Right.
because I'm sitting there, I'm going to YTL. I'm going to the juvenile hall system, and I'm seeing y'all doing it, and it made me focus more upon life and knowing that, damn, I know these niggas, man.
Right.
They made it. You know what I mean? I did.
Because we had seen it, you know what's crazy? We seen it with his friend Sarandrick.
Yeah,
when we was
Sarandrick
still at
Hubbard.
102nd. We used to go to 102nd, right?
He was a star child on
He was on Hill Street Blues, bro. Like he was at school. This
Lived
nigga
on
was
Hill
at school
Street.
with us every day.
Yeah,
bro. That's on my mama. And then he got on that TV show. We never seen him again, bro. Like,
I just saw Sarandrick on Facebook recently and sent
You
him a
did?
message. Yeah, he's on Facebook.
Yeah, bro, like,
Sarandrick
that's
Hubbard, that was one of my
crazy.
best friends as a kid at 102nd. And we had a lot of celebrities that came through 102nd Street Elementary.
Yeah, for real.
You know, we
for
had
real.
teachers that knew people, so they made sure Rosie Greer and Michael Cooper. There was a lot of different celebrities.
yeah,
that
oh,
come
that
through
one, what's
102nd.
that man, Mr. Gretchen?
Mr. Gretchen.
used to take us up to Baldwin Hills.
Baldwin Hills and meet. He lived next door to Michael Cooper. Then.
Exactly. It was
Yeah.
Laker players up there, bro.
Yeah.
All that. Sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
man, shit, I was so much of a up, man. I ain't seen none of that. I was always in juvenile hall. I started at 9, so
Yeah,
I seen
man.
all that. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen none of the stars. All them stars was, it was just vacant. Yeah, they was more. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but to see you guys.
We was in juvenile at the same time.
Yeah, on everything.
Really?
When
And my
when
mom
our
was
moms
fresh
got
out of
the
prison.
pen,
My mom was fresh out of prison coming to visit us in juvenile hall. We in the same juvenile hall.
Hey,
left.
doing it,
Yeah.
man. Hey, but hey,
we was in what was we in Silmar?
Silmar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mom's called like 3-4 buses to come see
Man.
us, bro, on
Yeah.
everything.
y'all really.
I'll never forget
hey,
that.
hey, for real, folks, man. I'm really a fan of this dude. I always told my man.
It's my
he one of
favorite. It's my favorite rapper,
rappers.
man. Like people don't
He's one of my
understand.
favorite rappers always, man.
Right.
Hey, the hardest of them all, man. And let me just ask y'all a question. When y'all gonna, as a fan, when
Yeah.
y'all gonna get back and do something?
But let's before we get there, because
All right.
keep
Okay.
that question. Don't
All right.
forget.
All right.
But let Drake go into
Yeah.
to the eazye situation and how real Compton City G's, real MF and G's, which is the street
How did
version.
it go down?
How did that how did that all play out? Like, go take us from the beginning.
From the
with
beginning.
Jim Bob and everybody.
Yeah, from the beginning, it was Heavy D. Jim Bob nephew, Heavy D was in. We started in juvenile hall together.
Right.
Big D.
And we ended up in TS together. But I just had a reputation. We spoke about this on Vlad.
Yeah.
I had a reputation within the juvenile hall system for rapping and talent shows, and
Fucking
this
over
is something
ripping niggas.
Some I kind of a lot of people don't know. I started this stuff at a young age with like niggas like Deadly Threat. And it was
Yeah,
niggas like
yeah.
that I was doing time with in camp who was vicious writers.
Threat come from
at a
up
young
under
age.
Icecube now, right?
Yeah, exactly. That come from DJ Pooh.
DJ Pooh,
Threat is
okay.
actually the first rapper who told me to start writing my raps now. Because we used to just memorize our raps, just like we copy like Mellow J and them or Mixmaster Spade. You hear a record and you just change the words of the rapper.
Yeah.
So that's the way
Right.
we really used to do our
That's
raps.
how
you
we
know what I mean?
learned. Yeah.
And that's how we learned. You know what I mean? But
That's all. That's
Heavy D knew he knew his uncle was out here dealing with E, and he knew that they had a relationship, and he knew that E needed what he needed in that moment, and so he wanted to make it happen, not knowing that I had already knew E, because me and his sister I went to Roosevelt Junior High School in the 9th grade. That's how I ended up in NY from the 9th grade. So it was just like perfect timing. Like it was something that E needed, and it was something that I felt I could do. You know what I mean? I had studied these dudes. I studied Icecube. I studied Dr. Dre. NWA, you know what I mean? So I just was always abreast of the elevation that I saw it grow, and I knew I can even help it grow. Even in this moment right now, I know I could write probably songs for a couple of these dudes that can, be a
I know
blessing to the
you
culture,
can.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you can. I ain't worried about that. I know you can, bro.
And a part of the story that I don't really tell, that people don't know, is that it was so close to it not happening, bro.
Yeah.
It was. Let me show you how close it was to not happen. It was this close to where my day to go to board to get paroled from YTS.
Yeah.
On my way walking the board, I see one of the homies sitting on a bench. This is a homie that ain't supposed to be sitting on the bench right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I know what he's sitting there for.
Okay.
I know he waiting on someone to come out this school area and come down these stairs.
Oh, he ready to get
And he gonna
cracked.
jump something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as soon as I see him, what is you doing?
Right.
Drake, go to board. I ain't gonna say his name. He know I just spoke to him recently. Like, a lot of this wouldn't happen because of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, nigga, I wouldn't have sat with him for a minute. Like, no, nigga, what you for to do?
Right.
Dre, go to board. Luckily they called my name. If they hadn't called my name, I would have been sitting out there when it would have happened. They called my name and they paroled me first time I ever went to board.
Damn.
And the homie had got his squabble on. The panic buttons went off while I was in there inboard.
Inboard, yeah.
Yeah, that's how much it all. And it's other stuff too, but that's just one thing on that exact day that a homie of mine chose to let me go home and not
put you involved. That's real shit though, man.
Yeah.
I love that because you know. A lot of times, you know, and then this is how it is though. Like when you in them situations, bro. Like we done been to the pen, and he done been to YA. You can't leave your homies behind, bro. You'll never live that down within your own soul if you leave your homies hanging. So it was one time with me, since we talking about that, I was already Muslim, right? We in Corcoran. The homies is 5 deep on the yard. Just 5. It's really only 4. I'm the 5th one, but I'm Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So my politics had changed once I transitioned to Islam, right? So the homies, they get into it with the neighborhood card. The neighborhood card like 25, 27 deep. It's only 4 homies out there. Yeah. I gotta go out now. I gotta really break my politics because I can't see the homies getting rushed by 27 niggas. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And people don't know how difficult that is. And it was like niggas I knew. I could see if it was niggas I didn't know, but it was niggas I knew from the street. So it was really hard for me to just let the homies go out there. You know what I mean? So but let's get back to it.
Yeah, so it's just those examples. I just always want to tell that story because I know people never heard that story. And the only person I ever told it to was y'all and the other person. You know what I'm saying?
But he said, man, I'm glad he thought because he was one.
Yeah, that was dope, bro. Yeah, true homies will do that for you. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get back to it.
Fast forward, it's like, when I came home and we had, you already know the story, but it was just something that like I say, E needed. And when we came together, he asked me if I was gonna rap on it with him.
Explain that night though when you went there, because I wasn't.
Yeah, when I went there, we were just in the front office at Audio Achievement.
At the Audio Achievement, y'all was in that lobby part.
Just in the lobby part, talking about everything. Okay. And he was like, man, he played the track. He's like, man, what you think? I say, nigga, shit, it's a hit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You think you can write something to it? Nigga, I know I can. What you talking about?
He don't know you like that.
You gonna rap on it with me? Yeah, I'll rap on it with you. Why not? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, it was just like, well, what you want? Like, man, what you mean what I want, man? We ain't talking about no money right now.
Right.
And like, man, just then before I left, this is the part I always remember. Before I left out the studio, I got in the car, he had wrote a note and stuck it inside of one of my folders.
Okay.
The note was like, man, I wonder if Dresta can, will be able to outright Snoopdogg and write a hit record.
Oh, see, that nigga was smart. He was on them psychological trips, bro. He used to do us like that. Yeah. He had psychological warfare when it came to us, bro, because he brought the best. He wanted to bring the best out of us, bro. Yeah. My mama used to tell me all the time, Dash them gonna get you, man. Yeah. Corrupt them gonna get you if you don't get off on this shit, bro. Like, he used to do that type of shit.
So I used that as fuel. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go sleep that night without writing a hit record. You know what I mean? Without it being a hit record. So, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? It just derived like that.
Now, let me ask this here. Now, by you coming out and writing this here, and I know my man, he already told me that he didn't even believe it, so he left. So when you came back and showed him what it was, how committed towards really making him a star, making him believe in what he. No,
this the thing about that.
I him to be a star since he was a kid.
Yeah, my mama. This the thing about that though. See, Dresta was in YA. I've already been out. I came home from boys' home. I think in 1991 or 1990 or something like that. And I've been going through the ringer with niggas telling me, promising me things. Because niggas took me around LL Cool J, Keith Sweat, Prince.
All that.
Nigga, I'm around Tone Loc and all of his people, all that shit, nigga. In 1990, 1991, 1992. You feel me? And heard a gang of bullshit. So now these niggas pull up on our street and it's another promise. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, these niggas. So naturally, I didn't take it serious.
Yeah, but them dudes that took me serious, they knew I was serious about what I was doing. And we had been in the studio. At the time I had 100 songs memorized that I can give you anytime, any given moment, 3 verses, 3 choruses. Bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
It ain't a rapper alive that I think had a Rolodex that I had of those type of lyrics. And so any beat they put on, I make a song out of every time. You know what I
wish, bro. I just wish that niggas could hear what I used to hear. Like, we used to go to, my mother used to Look, my brother pull up in my hood and make me jump in the car to go visit this nigga in YA.
Yeah.
I got a gun on me. I got dope in my pocket.
Yeah.
And she'll take me way up here to Ventura, nigga, to visit bro, right? So, boom, we get in there. You know, bro always wanted to let a nigga know the new shit he just wrote. So he know how to do the same shit sugar free. Beat with the pen on the table and rap. The same exact thing.
At visiting,
and just used to, at visiting, bro, just blowing my mind. I used to be like, damn, this nigga is ridiculous, bro. Like, he was so hard, man.
Hey, one of the greatest, man. Still is the greatest. Legend.
Nah, ain't no doubt about it.
He's a legend. Hey, so in the midst of Ruthless coming to y'all towards of the demise of, well, you know, what's going on with, I guess, deathrow and everything else, bringing y'all into that whole camp, into that whole war, even though that you had real respect for like,
Dr. Dre. Yeah, absolutely.
So how did that, like, you know, how did that make you feel? Or, you know, you just all about the money, like, fuck it.
It was about the money.
It was about this. It was about I knew them niggas lived around the corner from each other.
Exactly.
Easy and Dr. So I'm not thinking Dr. Dre's he's a musical genius, and this is what he do. He introduced us to this. So me doing, you know, playing the sport, because that's all it is.
Yeah.
This is a sport. So me playing a part in the sport, I don't see what he would be adverse to besides, you know, giving credit that it's, you know, it's a dope record. Even though you got a lot of dudes who try to deny based on their relationships with people. You know, you got Cube just said, he just gave his list of his greatest diss records, and Real Compton City G's wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's that political
he
correct shit.
He chose Nas and KRS-One. And those, them, you know, KRS-One is my favorite rappers, but I'm not going to put their records above Real Compton City G's as one of the greatest diss records. Come on.
Nah, because of the time, you got to think about it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, because KRS-One, that's the bridge is over. That's from the 80s, right?
Exactly.
Nas is from the 90s with us, so I can understand that. And Dre Day and all that. And then what about No Vaseline? What year was that, 89?
Yeah.
89, 90?
But that's the only reason that I kind of didn't take it too personal, because he didn't mention Dre Day either.
Yeah,
so he's being politically correct.
That's the whole point.
But
that's the whole point.
You shouldn't be politically correct when it comes to, you know, the stats on that, because it's important.
It's very important, bro.
Here,
but you know,
said that.
I hate to say it. These niggas, that's just how they are, bro. Like,
and he ain't the only one. Nick Cannon. There's other niggas here who done gave they list and
Nick the homie
didn't
too.
include Real Compton City G's. You know what I mean? And how could you be from here and not include that? It's impossible. I don't care who you is.
Yeah,
it's impossible for you to be from this West Coast and be
but
asked about this records and not include that.
This is the thing about the West Coast, though. We had backpacker niggas over here too that didn't necessarily like gangster rap. You feel what I'm saying?
You see, I'm talking about specific people.
I understand, but you know, but what I'm saying is, Nick, you know, this Nick Cannon, that's the homie and all. But Nick Cannon ain't grow up like us like that. You feel what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying. Now,
I understand.
Let me tell you what happened. After he did it, I called his manager. I called somebody who worked with him.
Yeah.
I felt the way about it. And I just wanted to see what his response was going to be. And guess what he said?
Yeah.
Nick said that? Hell no. Ain't no way Nick didn't include Real Compton City G's.
Yeah, he probably just, sometimes it might have slipped his mind. Ain't no telling,
now,
bro.
when the boy Mav Hoffa and them on they podcast, they had their little list and they didn't mention it. I think they East Coast based. So I can see why they wouldn't mention it.
Right.
But even their list was twisted. Tainted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to just be the greatest diss record, but we need our acknowledgement for our, you know. For
nah, we know what it is, bro. Everybody ain't gonna acknowledge it, but we gonna make sure they know. You know what I mean?
But it is, niggas. And, well, my first, the hardest shit. The hardest diss record.
So I wanna ask you, bro. When you walked in that studio when Eazy was in there, right? Like, what did you what did you think about? Because I know how I felt when I finally got up in there.
You know what?
It was kind of crazy for me.
For me, I was a young dude, man. But you know, I've always been perceived as much older and more wiser than what I am, right? So
you have been,
yeah. But in that moment, I had to fake it till I make it. You know what I mean? I had never been in no studio. You know, the Kitchen Sink was my first studio ever recorded.
Right.
But I wasn't gonna let E have any doubt in what I know I was coming to try to accomplish. You know?
So that was your first time in the studio.
That was my first time in the studio. This was my first time ever hearing myself, you know, being recorded. So I was
in a professional studio. Yeah.
Oh shit! So
the little stuff we had in YA wasn't no, you know, it was you know 8-track mixers like that. You know, shit like that.
Hey,
you know?
I know that.
Yeah, and that was the thing too, and that was a challenge for bro because it changed this whole rap style.
Yeah, I had
like the way he rapping on them songs. That ain't the way he originally sounded, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing about a lot of people that want to do music. They don't really know. Like when you get in that booth, especially dealing with a professional like Eazy, who got a track record of nothing but platinum records.
Remember, I didn't even like my verse on Compton City.
I know.
I didn't like the way I sounded.
He didn't like the way
I tried to get E to let me do that over. E didn't want me to change it.
Yeah,
it was too
gay.
On the real.
No, but I'm hearing myself, and then I'm hearing what I handpicked for them,
Right.
and how I'm penning for him. So I'm hearing, okay, I can do this different now. I can have my own identity.
Right,
but
right.
I had already recorded this verse that Eazy was in love with.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't let me alter the record. You know what I mean? So
See, he had the drop on us when it comes to he done this a million times over.
Yeah.
And then here we come. We some young bucks, you know what I'm saying? We got the fire and the passion, but we don't got the experience. And he had that over us. And he did the right thing because look where the record went. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
It was just me personally. Even with the Real Brother records. You know, a lot of those records were some of the first records I'd ever recorded. So when we got to deal with Outburst with Def Jam, I wanted to redo that record.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just when you start, you know, it's like I feel like I had to compromise part of my artistic creative, you know, control, to other people, and I never like to do that.
And it was always like
looking to get better. I know I could be a better rapper.
It was like that back in those days,
and instead of me getting mad at a nigga stealing my flow, I changed my flow to something else. You know what I mean? I'm just one of those niggas who adapt and then try to build on what I got.
A real legend, a real legend, man. That's the only a genius can do to get adapt towards whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? So
I'm a student. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of of this industry. You know, I'm a student of life. I'm a student of niggas. You know what I'm saying?
The street,
all right. So what about when we got over to Def Jam to Outburst with Gritty Greg and Anti Nim?
Okay, let me
what
ask
you remember?
So y'all would never.
We were signed to Ruthless. No, we was on a subsidiary called Toenail
Records,
which was Big Daddy Pat.
Everyday niggas acting illegally.
Yeah,
Big Daddy Pat from
Big Daddy Pat from your neighborhood and Jim Bob from the PJ. Yeah. We were signed through them to Ruthless.
Yeah.
But the cold thing about it was in between us doing that song, the song coming out, you know what I'm saying, doing what it did, they fell out with each other, and so we was stuck in the contract. You feel what I'm saying? So we had to figure out a way.
I'm trying to tell E, man, buy us out this contract. These my
and
niggas.
He was about
these
to.
These my
too.
niggas. They brought us here, but I if they, I felt like it wasn't gonna get nowhere because their objective was E. E was supposed to be the one that make this stuff happen for them, and we was depending on them to make it happen for us. You know what I mean? So when it started being like, okay, it was some type of hold up on our request. You know, I don't think I was asking for something outside of business. You know what I mean? Because
I think what I remember with them was from what I remember E saying was they just wanted him to just flood them with a gang of money.
Exactly.
They didn't know how to go about, you know what I'm saying, even putting the record together, you know what I'm saying, packaging it right, and then, knowing what to do with it. So he was like, let me work it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? They was too much of in a rush.
Yeah.
To
and
do everything.
It's a sensitive thing when you're dealing with people who one who knows everything and the other ones who know a little bit, but been having some money and know how to make some money move.
Right,
you know what I mean? So it's just a difficult, way to communicate sometimes when it's not agreed upon objective. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And live and learn. And y'all being so young at that age, y'all was just trying
we was
to
just
get
really
it
excited to be there, bro. Like, you got to
hustle,
understand. You got to think about Eazy for us. Eazy is our who would be the first rapper, you know what I'm saying, for the New York, like Melly Mel for a lot of niggas, or Africa Bambaataa. That's how he is to us. So to be able to work with that dude, bro, like, man,
it wasn't even like it wasn't a working relationship though. It was a friendship.
Yeah, that's exactly what it became. But I'm saying initially, for us to even just get around him and let alone do a record with him, bro, like, I still can't barely really believe it. You know what I'm saying?
But he like that. He's a modest dude in a lot of ways.
Nah, on the real though.
This dude would catch butterflies every time you get ready to perform.
Yeah, bro, I used to throw up.
The boy that throwed up the whole USC elevator one time. Well, people couldn't even get on the elevator afterwards to make it to the show. The boy,
that's one thing about doing the music that I didn't know.
It took a long time for him to
I did not know.
He was standing back of the stage and standing there. I said, bro, you got to come up here with the people at. You know what I'm saying? Back then, he give it up, but it took a while for him to get comfortable with people like that.
Yeah, bro, because you got to imagine. Just put yourself in my shoes. You finna walk on the stage. There's 30,000 people out there that's just looking at you like that. Nigga, how would you feel?
That nigga wait and say, hold up. That nigga be throwing up behind the curtains.
I had to learn the way.
I'm talking about every show. This was every show. This ain't like every now and then. Nigga, I'm talking about every time a nigga already go out there to do something, nigga gonna go Earl somewhere. There's gonna be some Earl left somewhere.
So my method was not to eat when I know we gotta perform, because that shit ain't gonna stay down. Like, it just wasn't gonna happen. On the real.
So what made you so confident as being, and even you just the first this is your first rodeo just as well as being on the stage and everything else. How did you?
If you got to go back to my childhood, my mama I used to be 5 years old, and Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 was my favorite group, dancing machine. So my mama, when she have company over, I'm on the coffee table with a broom doing dancing machine. So I was the entertainment. I've been the entertainment since I was a little kid. On the weekends when she having parties.
Hey, they had us going out backwards.
I'm telling you, be on the coffee table
downstairs doing a running.
I don't give a fuck who you is. If you live in the ghetto, nigga, you stood on the coffee table in the 70s and performed some Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck who you is.
That's real true,
nigga. And that was before the leather jacket and the zippers. I ain't never had no leather jacket and zippers, nigga.
We couldn't afford that.
Machine, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, niggas be in their socks so they can do the moonwalk.
Boy, listen.
Hey man,
you don't even want to hear. I ain't gonna even put moms out there. But boy, they used to have
get paid though. They used to give me money to do it too. I wasn't just up there doing it for free.
He's like, I'm gonna give me some candy on the way to school tomorrow.
I'm gonna go right to the Funky Fives with this $10 to give me $10 worth of candy.
Trying to tell
a penny a piece. Then I'm gonna get on the bus and go to Walton and sell a penny candy for 10 cents a piece.
Right,
man, stop it.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. That was so. Hey, so Michael Jackson was your first inspiration.
Michael Jackson.
For a lot of us, bro, from the 70s.
Any kid my age, that had to be your first real inspiration.
That had 70s babies, bro. So you know how that is.
Yeah, true.
Michael Jackson was larger than life.
That nigga was large. It ain't a rapper alive that's as large as Michael Jackson was when he was little Michael Jackson.
Yeah. I remember Michael Jackson coming by the project. He had this. I don't even know if it was him, but nigga
that wasn't him. Nigga, that wasn't him.
Mike pulled a lot of publicity stunts back in the day.
Mike probably had 10 other imposters running around all day to keep people off his tracks. Nigga, that wasn't no.
He was the coldest. Mike could have been a CIA agent if you think about it, because he was cold, bro.
Man, they got the photographs of the funeral saying he was sitting at his own funeral. Michael Jackson was at his own funeral, dressed like a woman.
He might be.
And I believe it. It looked just like it. I don't know if it's computer generated or whatever, nigga, but it's believable.
Yeah, ain't no telling, man. When you had the type of money and resources he had, you know what I mean?
And with the stuff that we know now today, we know that this stuff is real, that it happens all the time.
Right,
flags and all that.
Very
so,
true.
Why not believe? I believe in miracles.
Very true. I do too.
You know?
Damn, man.
That is crazy. But
and we gonna get back into some of these easy stories.
Yeah, let me go ahead, man. Sean, look, I know y'all told me about that. I wasn't on Ruthless. How did y'all get? So what label did y'all assign to? If it wasn't Ruthless,
we was signed to Ruthless. This one we was on a subsidiary of Ruthless, which was Toenail Records. That was Jim Bob and Big Daddy Pat. Okay. So what happened was in the midst of us, doing the record coming out is popping. They fell out. They was at odds. They was at odds, and I believe, like I said, it was them wanting a bunch of money from Eazy, and Eazy just didn't want to just get him no money without, going through the steps of, putting us together in the right packaging like we needed. And so we ended up being in the contractual bind. So what we needed was somebody to help us out, because we set for a year. You got to think, Real Compton City G's came out. It boomed, bro. We touring with this nigga. Every time he go on tour, we with him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we contractually stuck on this contract for a whole year without putting out a record.
And it's a whole lot of business that we don't know.
And it was a lot of business
a whole lot that we don't even know. We don't even know what we really entitled to. You know what I'm saying?
Still to this day, though, for real. So we don't even know if we made, because we still get royalties, but we still don't know if it's the royalties we should have been getting. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
and this is where I started having odds with E about certain things, because I'm a question it. Now, I want to, I put trust in you, the nigga, to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, to be realistic, it was some of my youth, my inexperience, that I saw some contracts that my company was requesting distribution, through eazy, but in the contracts they had certain things written in the contracts that was for them, incentives, Mercedes-Benz incentives and stuff like that. But none of that mentioned us. You know what I mean? So I had a problem with that, because I felt like we should have been included in those incentives. You know what I'm saying? So. That's where really a lot of the conflict started. And like I said, it could have been my youth and me not knowing business, but I felt like it wasn't the right thing to do from the type of relationship we were supposed to have as business partners. You know what I mean?
See, you just had you had your Mr. Think a lot moments, and
I'm just questioning stuff, bro. Because you got to understand this part. So our love for the music, we was gonna do music irregardless, whether we was signed to somebody or not. Why we still do it? Right. You feel what I'm saying? But once it became business, then it started being about business. You know what I'm saying? And then when there was some things that to us that was questionable, whether we knew what we was talking about or not, we had to see what it was.
We had the right to question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. And see, man, my thing is that's where it goes for me, where I had certain big homies that would take advantage of young niggas and make them
we don't honor them type of niggas. I've never honored them type of niggas.
You know what I mean?
Never.
You feel me? And that's my whole thing. I see I felt that certain what y'all went through in that sense. You know
that's why everything is balanced, because everything is balanced. Even in the ghetto, you got a certain amount of niggas who gonna operate a certain way, and we know who they are. We know how they operate. You can see it. You know what it smell like. You know what I mean? But then it's another portion of niggas that's operating a different way that people don't talk about. And some of those are some good niggas. And some of those niggas saved a lot of lives just by being the examples that they are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Me myself, I never can honor the scandalous niggas. I don't honor scandalous niggas.
Me either,
you
man.
know?
I can't. I don't.
Well, let's get back in Dre. Let's get back into some Eazy-E days, man. Let's talk about like the making of the record, like some of the things you just remember, because you know we did a lot of songs in there with him. You know we did songs with Menage a Trois. We did songs. We did songs for Yella's little compilation.
And for Menage a Trois.
You know what I'm saying? For all that. With Silky Fine, you know what I mean? GBM. I even did songs with Bone that never came out.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But let's just get back into your memory of the days of just being in the studio with this nigga and just some of the,
it was fun.
Some of the stuff.
It was like you know, I ain't never, I'm the big brother. You know what I mean? So he was like a big brother to me, as well as the other, you know, people that I dealt with on the labels. I looked up to them dudes. So just to have them moments with E, we had a lot of real moments. You know what I mean? Where he want to wrestle with you, and you know what I mean? Just you know, it was stuff that nigga was just, you too little. But, you know what I mean? But he gonna try.
He gonna try you though.
You know
he gonna try you.
So those was like my fondest memories of the nigga, that he gonna try because he liked it, that he was into that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just having those moments, you know.
Yeah, them niggas used to wrestle, bro. He used to climb on this nigga back. He used to just jump on him, and Dre just be like, "No, nigga," pull him off. They was crazy.
That was the best part about that little dude.
Crazy,
man.
You know? So he was all the way down.
No, bro, he was a good dude at the end of the day, because you know he could have took full advantage of us, bro, and he didn't.
Nigga learned a lot from that nigga about just how to conduct yourself, and you know, on this level, you know, in the celebrity level. You know, the nigga go to the restaurant and purchase. He'll order 5 main courses and 7 desserts and every drink on the menu, and just sip a little bit out of each one. Take a little nibble here, and you know, just little, just crazy, weird little quirky stuff he did with his money. You know
That's
what I mean?
all that money he had.
The money.
Where used to keep his cash at, Dre?
Well, in the sock, always in the sock.
And he'll have only like about $1,000
rolled around the inside of his hat.
Inside of his hat, he only smoked licorice papers.
Only smoked licorice papers.
Yeah.
Licorice papers, right?
Ooh,
and then he had 20 million credit cards, though. Yeah. His wallet was nothing but credit cards, bro. And he probably had a credit card for every single thing in the world.
Yeah.
You understand? Like he was a different kind of dude, and he was a multi-millionaire. So money was not. And then listen, he had a 600 Benz, right? He had the big body 600 Benz. And this was 93, 94, right?
He had that before we met him, though. He already had that.
All right, but then he had the ADAT machine in there.
The 850 and the ADAT machine.
So he had an ADAT, like, can you imagine? Like, how did they do that? Do you know what an ADAT machine is?
Yeah.
The little thick tapes, like, these tapes is this big, but they had the highest quality of sound and things like that. Yeah. This nigga had, the machine is big, bro. Like, how did they put this in this Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
Like, this nigga had it cousin, like, he was a different dude, man. His house, what about his house in Calabasas with the thick carpet?
You know what I remember about the house? I was always impressed about that house was the dining room table. Yeah. It was a big dining room table. The legs on that motherfucker was on that, forget my language. Yeah. The legs was thick, and it was a big long table. But it looked like a nigga took a sledgehammer and hit it, and it just shattered.
And it shattered all.
And then they captured it in the shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was most impressed with, because I never saw something like that.
Then he had the Jason mask on the door, huh?
Yeah, and he had the little Chucky doll. He had all the little evil dolls on the back, on the little table behind the couch.
He was a unique dude.
Yeah,
man.
I remember going to Mardi Gras, and he wanted to go in the voodoo store, and I'm like, nigga, I'm not going to that store with you, nigga. You go in and do all you want to do. I'm going to be right out here watching some girls get some beads for shaking their titties.
Yeah.
Why you want to go in the voodoo store? I'm not going to no voodoo.
He had a little evil streak, man. I don't know what he was so fascinated with.
That nigga, he liked that. He went in that voodoo store, man, and stayed in there for quite a while.
He loved that shit, man.
Yeah, the fascination of it, the unknown is gold.
What about some touring times, bro? Like, what you remember? Can you remember the first time we went on tour and some of our experiences?
The first thing I think I remember was the first time he missed words. And then
Okay.
you know, and I would be backing him up on it. So then the next time we did it, I noticed he missed the same words every time.
Okay.
Then it was about 5 different songs where he would miss the same lines on those songs every time. And so I started learning. That's when I started learning how to, you know, to back him up the right way to make sure. You know what I mean? I catch him on those lines to make sure he don't forget those words.
Right. I remember we both used to do that.
Yeah. So that
But I remember some of the. I remember some of the experiences, like when we had to whip out on certain people.
Yeah,
you know, niggas jumping the gates and the wall. Like, it was like male groupies too. So you know how you have like, man, this on Everything I Love. So you know, females be the main groupies for artists and shit, but it was a lot of males too. Yeah. So they trying to come to the hotel. No, it was they just want to be around. They just want to be in the mix. You feel what I'm saying?
We had gimmicks before we do the show. We all, every time we leave from the hotel to go there to do sound check, we all take some hotel business cards.
Yeah.
So when we up there performing, we gonna give business cards to certain, you know, little women in the crowd.
Okay.
And then sometimes we'll yell it out over the mic too. That was kind of like a mistake sometimes.
I had my little player move though. I used to take my sweat towel and I kept my sweat towel for the one woman that I wanted. And I wasn't gonna let that sweat towel go until I found that one I was looking for, and she let me know she was looking for me too. You know what I'm saying? Man. And that's who ended up with that sweat towel. Or either a Dresta cap. One or the other.
That is so gangster. Hey, but my thing is how it was back then towards how the youngsters is now.
I don't think it's just really about the artist now today. It's about the audience. You know what I'm saying? It's more the audience is kind of real fickle now. You know what I mean? It's like the things that's accepted as music wouldn't be acceptable 20 years ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been.
You know what I mean? Some of this stuff that's considered music right now, people would never have said that's music. They would have, like Showtime at the Apollo, most of the stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the consumer having access to, you know, the same kind of sound quality that professionals do, you have a lot of people who always wanted to be professionals or wanted to be rappers or singers or whatnot and couldn't do it and was told no. So this was an opportunity now with technology where the people who were told no can do what they want to do and can release their music and distribute it. And so you have a lot of fan base who are also those same people. So they're willing to support people who don't have talent because they was once a person who didn't have talent that was told no. You know what I mean? So now it's more of a, and I think it's more, you already know it's more people who are not stars than those who are.
Oh, yeah.
So it's already natural that balance would be that way. You know what I'm saying? But you have a lot of people that's working at record companies who didn't really have talent and couldn't make it with talent, but they've been allowed to make decisions based on talent.
And I really hate to say it, bro. A lot of it got to do with the record labels. These record labels and these so-called executives, bro, because you got to think, a lot of these people, they get all the money, right? So you got the artists who they squeeze, it's like squeezing blood from a turnip. Yeah. So they squeezing the artist and draining him of his blood, you know, which is his natural raw talent.
While selling him a dream.
Selling him a dream and then just using him and then using him up till they can't use him no more. But the thing is, you got these people that sit in these offices, bro, who make these major decisions. They're so out of touch with the dynamics of where these people come from. The things that they're even talking about. You understand what I'm saying?
But they don't care about that. All they care about is having control of the algorithm.
Exactly.
And having control of the technology
that's where a lot of the faultiness is coming from. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that's why there hasn't been no hip hop album on the Billboard charts lately, bro. Like
that, and how ridiculous is that?
It's very ridiculous.
How outrageous is that?
It's real outrageous.
That's something we've never saw before.
Never seen.
And that's
before.
only a testament to the quality of music that's being released.
Yeah.
It's more
than that. It's more than the quality. It's what's behind it. It's people dying. You know, it's people getting indicted. It's RICO charges. You know what I'm saying? Getting brought upon all these crews and shit like that. So it's a lot behind it. It's not just that particular thing.
No, I'm not saying it's just that though, but that plays a part in it though.
No, absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
The quality is very important, man. When we start sacrificing the quality, there's no way that we're gonna have nothing to sustain.
Yeah.
You know, you break it down, you break something down to its finest compound, it becomes nothing.
No, that's true.
You know, so you got to have some type of integrity, and it's enough technology and enough room for everybody to exist.
Absolutely.
But it was never intended for people to get a chance at something, and for those people who have less talent or who have, you know, less sweat equity in this to become greater than those who are keeping it floating. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have division in it. I'm just saying that it should be a equal opportunity for both spectrums. You know what I mean?
No,
There's
no
a lot
doubt.
of talented people who contributed to the, like, they just had the 50th anniversary of hip hop. We ain't mentioned or talked about or thought about.
Right.
You know what
I ain't see Eazy mentioned
Yeah,
none of that either.
so
How
it's
do y'all
just
feel
certain
about
things.
that? How do you
I
feel
feel
about
I felt the way about
these
it.
you got these New York cats, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to them, but you got these dudes who they're allowing to be the overheads of these programs, bro.
Yeah.
And they pushing their people.
Yeah.
They pushing
as
New York
they should
through.
though.
You
So
know
we
what I'm
can't
saying?
even be mad at them. We
Can't
gotta
really
be
be
mad
mad.
at home. We gotta be mad at our own people for
Right.
not wanting to be inclusive.
Right.
For wanting to try to keep certain people out and let certain niggas in. You know what I mean? We have to look at that from our
No,
own
that's very
backyard.
true.
You know what
That's
I'm
very
saying?
true. That's very true.
True, no, man. Because I think if Eazy was alive, man, I think the whole game would be changed. Because a lot of them dudes really follow after Eazy because how he did. You know what I mean? How he did it. He did it his way, and he made a whole record label. He made these individuals want to be CEOs, want to get to this. So my thing is with y'all. I know y'all go through the whole realm of Eazy stories, but how do y'all feel on the movies without y'all, like you said, not being mentioned, not being even thought of, or even you know what I mean? He not even, or having Eazy not even been thought of.
I'll say this, bro. I'll say this, cause it's like I feel like it's a disservice being done to the audience. Because I think that we have a lot of things to offer, right? Talent-wise, experience-wise, struggle-wise, you know, triumphing over things. You know, I think that it's and it ain't like it's too late because this is a part of making that happen. We have to get in to see it, do what we're doing to tell our own stories, and to let people know who we are without other people thinking that they're, you know, because they've been controlling the narrative about who we are, and most people don't know who we are. You know what I mean? You only know what a person allows you to know about them, and we haven't. I know myself. I don't let everybody get close to me to even know who I am. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of misconceptions about who we are and what we believe and what we stand on and what our passion is for this music. It ain't just about being a rapper. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about the culture and what's being fed to our thought processes. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about that, and I believe that we could have a lot to bring to the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like recently, I just wrote an article about Generation X and the effects of the crack epidemic. I've been hearing a lot of talk about reparations and stuff, but none of the stuff that I was hearing was talking about the impact of the crack era on our generation and our little brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So I sent my article to the lady that's the head of the reparation task force, and I got a response from her recently where she was happy to receive the information and says that she's writing a new paragraph to add to the reparations package that'll be based around the crack era and its effect on our communities. You know, so I think it's things that's within us that's more deeper than what's on the surface, and a lot of people don't want other people to know that. So they've done things strategically. In my life, I know for sure. You know, things that has prevented people from getting to know me outside of gangster Dresta. You know what I mean? So
and you know, it's another thing too, bro. When it comes to the type of people we are, you know, we the type of people, man. You know, and sometimes when it comes to being in a certain type of business, it's just not good for their way of doing things. Yeah. Like you can't pay us to be fake and phony and to be politically correct and all these different types of things. And you know that has worked against us as well. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Because we done been in places with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, in high places when it comes to this industry that we've been involved in for the last 30 years. And we just gonna always be who we are. You feel what I'm saying? And who we are ain't no bad people. You see what I'm saying? But you just can't. You can't make us be fake and phony and smile and act like things cool when it ain't. If it's something that we definitely don't agree with, we ain't gonna agree with it. Like you can't pay us to do it, none of that. And so a lot of times, for these people, because the industry unfortunately is full of a lot of weirdos, bro. It's a lot of weirdos. You know what I'm saying, with a lot of money, and they weird. They do things behind closed doors. They do a lot of weird stuff that they know they can't bait us into. You see what I'm saying? And people like us, they like to keep away. You feel what I'm saying? And it ain't got nothing it ain't got nothing with us, with us being a threat or doing something to harm somebody or nothing like that. It's just we not gonna bend on the principles we was raised on, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
Y'all just not no
Feel what I'm
sucker
saying?
bait.
Nah, I just can't do
like
it.
I said, us doing this right now, this is the type of stuff that's going to bring our tribe to us. Because we got to believe we have a tribe that's there that don't know that we think like this.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, you have a tribe. We have tribes that don't understand that we think just like them, and we want to see the same things that they see, but they'll never know because they've been stuck on a stigma of who they think we are or what the next person say we are. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that this is all something that's on. It's intentional, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Because, that's crazy because when you said that about the crackhead, bro, the crack era, because I had to succumb towards it. I am a product of that.
Yeah, for sure. We all are.
But we so used to just bearing pain. We so used to going through shit and not worrying about it, going through stuff and not crying about it.
Wow.
You know, so people think that we can just bear everything, but they don't know what that era did to us. That era told. Man, this dude, I used to have this dude following me everywhere. I'm talking about. I'm 10, 11. How old you think he is following me around sitting at the gas station pumping gas all day, every day? Just to be able to go to Miracle Market to get some bologna and cheese.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Bless you.
I'm talking about nickels and pennies and dimes to where you got enough to where you can feed 3 or 4 people. You know what I mean? You know, people
we
don't
started
know our
to feed
struggle,
bro.
You
My
know?
mama, so like
remember that,
during our era, like when it came to that, when moms caught the case in the projects, right, and we had to live with my grandparents, you know, like I said, a tragedy happened in our family where our first auntie and 4 of our cousins, they all passed away,
At
like
one
all
time.
at the same time. So our people started smoking dope really, really bad after that.
Yeah.
And so it was nights, bro, when I'm sitting at the gas station pumping gas, bro, to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just to be able to go to the store to buy a gang of food to bring home to a bunch of grown people.
A bunch of grown people.
Who been asleep for 3, 4 days because they crack binge for the last 2 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of little cousins who couldn't fend for themselves, which is all my aunties' kids, aunties and uncles' kids. You feel me? Like, so it was a lot,
Tell you
bro.
what the homie said to me the other day, and it brought back a lot of memories for. Because I think I kind of blocked a lot of the stuff out. You know what I mean? That I didn't have to hold on to, right?
Yeah.
But the homie told me, say, Dre, you know the difference in you, nigga, when we was young? We always sitting out there selling dope and doing this, but we was selling dope to go buy some shoes the next day or get some clothes. Say, nigga, you'll make enough money. Then I see you coming from the bike on a bike from the store. You got grocery bags hanging on the handlebars.
Right.
Nigga, at 13, 14, you every day you that responsible where you know you got to make this money for y'all to eat.
Right.
We didn't have to work. We can go in the house and get something to eat at that time. You know what I mean?
Right, bro.
And nobody paid attention that you was that young and that responsible.
And that
you know what I'm
responsible,
saying?
Yeah, have that responsibility to
that's
defend
real,
all
though.
that straight.
So when people say, you know, what's the difference between me and you? Yeah, it's a lot of difference.
It's a huge
all our
difference.
struggle and our experiences is different. Like you say, when you niggas was able to go buy you some fresh kicks or, you know what I mean, go to Magic Mountain with your money, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, we had to survive. It was survival. And you know the sad part about it all is that we never got no counseling, no
nothing.
type of
nothing.
You know,
That's
nothing
straight
for
up
this,
there,
bro. So we walking around still with this trauma that we experienced, you know what I'm saying? And it's fueled to a certain degree, but there's still a lot of pain there. It's a lot of unresolved things there that we need to deal with, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, because
And this is kind of therapeutic just talking about
Most
it.
definitely,
You know what I mean?
most definitely. That's why I had to say that, because it was therapeutic for me to hear him say it.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
it
that's
reminded
dope.
me of those moments that I haven't even thought about
That's
in
dope.
30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's dope.
and in them moments, man, back then, I remember the DARE program used to come out and send all
See, but y'all did in the projects, y'all always had a cultural mind frame in the projects, from the WC, the YWCA,
Yeah.
all kind of programs at the gym. Y'all
Yeah,
had a
they had
lot
the
of
free
different
lunch-
things in the
the free
project.
lunch program.
Free lunch program. We ain't had none of that in Compton.
Yeah, on the real.
None of it.
And that was crazy, because
Yeah.
all the motherfuckers,
We
all the
experienced
people,
all that by living in Watts. You know what I mean?
Yep, on the real.
all the difficult moments that we experienced.
I'm gonna say one more thing too, bro. Another thing that we talked about, because I didn't even realize that nigga was outside this night that this happened, right? For the gangbangers, when we was gangbanging had a certain ethic and a respect in it, right?
Sure enough.
So it was a time that our neighborhood was at war with the neighborhood across Central, right?
Right.
And what just so happened one night we standing on the corner of Tishner and Tejada.
Okay.
You know how we used to do back in the day.
Yep.
Like gang of young niggas with certain homies, right?
Yep.
A dude from the other side came walking through drunk, representing where he from. Niggas didn't down him or nothing. Guess what the homie did? Grabbed him by his shirt, and we walked the nigga home, but we picked every bottle, every rock, every stick that we could find on the way. He got hit with
And
it.
whacked him with it.
So we walked him all the way to his hood and let him go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was just a certain ethic of respect.
Of course, yeah.
Because they went to school with some of these dudes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it wasn't always just kill.
Kill.
It wasn't always
Yeah.
about just unaliving people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It was always some type of, respect level to where certain things you had to, you want to express that. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that so some of these young dudes will know it wasn't always like this, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't understand how where they getting the guns at.
I can't find. You quiet. Well, you know where they're being given to them.
A lot of that we already know it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, we know that's systematic.
Quote unquote, it's conspiratorial things happening.
It's to create the create the generational gap. The way we ain't gotta listen to y'all. And there's some of us who ain't never had no generational problems with our younger homies and none of that. Some of us had good relationships because we wasn't the scandalous.
We wasn't scandalous.
Trying to press them niggas. So
see, a lot of the G's, bro, they were so sick and wicked. Because you got to understand, these people used to smoke angel dust, PCP. You know what I'm saying? So they was on hardcore. You think kids on hardcore drugs now? They was on super hardcore, like, and that made them a certain type of way, bro. They was wicked individuals. You know what I'm saying? And they used to do a lot of foul things to where, when we got old enough to be eye to eye with these dudes, we used to start flighting them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So and we took pride in not being like that to our younger homies. You feel what I'm saying? At the same time, giving them the spirit that they need to be, being in that environment. Not get ate up.
Yeah. That's just so real for us. Well, for the audience, man, to understand what they talk about as being G's, real G's. That's trying to help out with the youth and help you understand your self-worth. And I appreciate big homies like you that took that time out and let a young nigga know that what your worth is. You know what I mean?
It was done for me, so I know it's just a position. I've always been like a big brother by nature, because of my responsibilities at an early age. So that translated everywhere I went. Every juvenile hall, every camp, every placement, every group home, boys home, youth authority. I always had little dudes who was young dudes who didn't have nobody. But they had heart, and I would never let niggas fuck over them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I never really fucked over dudes who was smaller than me and none of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I got a problem with you, if I can't get, I got somebody here that's your size that can fight you. Right. You know what I mean?
And that's really how it's supposed to go,
a 5-on-1, no, I'm not gonna let y'all do it.
Yeah, it's just about being fair. It's about being fair, not doing something to somebody you don't want done to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I just was that kind of guy. So that really was more my reputation than I wasn't the bully. I wasn't the pushover that that was the extra dude that want to fight niggas. I was a nigga who kind of kept peace amongst niggas. I kept fairness amongst niggas. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I thought it was only right to be fair.
And you know that's dangerous being in the street, bro, because a lot of people is they birds of a feather.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot of niggas, they just for whatever reason, bro, they gonna side with the niggas that they close to, whether it's right or wrong. Right. And when it's homies and when we are homies, that's you're not supposed to do that
at all.
If we are homies, you feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times
I never subscribed to the group thing. I never subscribed to the ideal that all niggas are supposed to think the same, walk the same, and talk the same.
Yeah, that's not a part of it.
Yeah, that's not it.
That's not a part of it. I'm just saying. I'm saying on the fact of if we all homies, we from the same hood, we ain't gotta think alike or nothing, right?
Yeah.
But if we know this nigga wrong about something, we can't, because me and you a little bit tighter. We can't go against the homies.
Yeah, right or wrong. I'm right with the homies.
Yeah. We do that to outsiders, not with each other.
We was taught that, and we applied it to ourselves when they ain't supposed to apply to us.
When we outside the hood, exactly. And a lot of people don't know how to do that for whatever reason.
Exactly.
So look, man, we gonna.
Okay, we got one last question. Well, all right, now it's our signature question that we always
try to keep it tight because we gotta go out.
Now, if you had the resources, the funds,
if you had all the resources and ability, big bro,
inside of every, what would it be?
To bring peace to the inner city, what would your idea that be?
My idea would be, I just told one of the homies, we got a homie from the neighborhood that's about to run for mayor of Compton.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say his name yet because the campaign ain't started yet, but I told him my idea would be a thing that I wanted to develop called urban upgrade. I feel like we got, where we come from, we got people, generations of people who've been living in the same house, in a 2-bedroom house with 5 generations of family.
Right.
So some of those people have never had their bathroom upgraded.
Have
never had to, another room added to the house to add some. So if we can start doing programs like that where niggas are given the jobs to help build their own communities, it's gonna change the mindset and we'll get on one objective way of thinking.
That's dope, man. So you heard that here on the Hub and Dub Next Level Podcast, man. We with Dresta the Dresta, whatever you want to say. And we catch y'all next time, man. It's chess,
not checkers,
and this is the Hub and the Dub.
West.